Epic Games is no stranger to making blockbuster franchises that redefine the action genre and usually sell like gangbusters as well. Lately, the studio's focus seems to be capturing the lucrative free-to-play and esports market. With Paragon filling the role for their MOBA title, what about those of us who prefer to just team up with some friends and shoot a bunch of AI bullet sponges? The answer to that question is the long-awaited FortNite. It's been quite a long time since we first saw the game at its 2011 announcement. While the game is technically still in early access, it also is technically taking people's money and is on store shelves, so for me, that makes it fair game for a review. In FortNite, you and 3 friends will team up to fight the Storm. The Storm is a nebulous antagonist that spawns dozens of zombie-like creatures called husks. You'll spend your time breaking down the environmental structures and vehicles for raw materials and then build your own defenses to hold an objective from being destroyed by the Storm. You build walls, traps, and weapons in the hopes that they will hold strong enough to survive the horde mode type waves of husks that the game throws at you. The game world is imaginative enough to keep players interested, and there's always a moment of excitement when finding one of the game's many hidden treasure chests around the world that often contain very nice loot. This loot can often include new types of weapons, traps, or basic materials to craft your own. Aside from these chests and the main objective you're there on the map to protect, the games are littered with mini objectives as well, such as clearing out enemy encampments and rescuing survivors. Now with all of these things to do, you think the game would be non-stop fun. In actuality, these activities are usually pretty ho-hum in their design and don't really do much to inspire excitement. For instance, when fighting one of the enemy encampments, you shoot the husks until there are none left. When you come across a survivor that's being attacked by husks, the objective is to shoot all the husks until there are none left. When you find one of the game's storm chests, your objective is to shoot the enemy husks until there are none left. You see my point. Even when an objective isn't simply shoot the husks, then it's often something even less inspired. Like when you've located a survivor and they refuse to be rescued without a medkit. Your job then is to go to another location and scour the area for the medkit. Fetch quests aren't exactly what I was hoping I'd be doing in my third-person action shooter games. But what about the building part, I hear you ask? Well, that part's actually pretty fun for the most part. It's very satisfying to see a group of husks wander into your well-constructed House of Death and then be obliterated before they get 5 feet into the opening. That being said, the game makes sure to let you know that it doesn't actually want you to build to your heart's content. Nearly every mission in the game offers you a bonus for not building too much. Now, punishing a player who enjoys building in a game about building seems rather counterproductive to them having a good time. The traps are rather satisfying to set up and use though. Now the main problem with relying on traps is that the main crafting ingredient needed to make the traps is actually a shared ingredient needed to craft ammo. For players who like to use single-shot weapons like sniper rifles and high-powered pistols, this might not be a problem. For myself though, I prefer bullet hose type weapons. Ones where I can spurt hot death all over the face and chest of my enemy in rapid-fire fashion. And for players like myself, you're left with the decision of crafting ammo and shooting most of the husks that come your way, or if you want to build up your trap defense and pray that it's enough to keep the storm from destroying the objective and causing you to lose all of your progress for that mission. The list of gripes goes on and on with FortNite. The enemies are designed more to be frustrating than they are fun to kill. The menu system is a horrendously poor system. There are technical issues abound, and the list of gripes goes on and on and on. Now, I've hit on a lot of the problems in FortNite, but I feel like I haven't touched on the biggest one. At least for me, it was the biggest one. There is a real problem with difficulty progression in this game. There comes a point in the second major area of the game where you feel like your progress will come to a grinding halt. Your story missions will become so astoundingly difficult for your level that going in fully stocked with bullets, traps, and resources still may not be enough. I can hear you saying, "So what? Go grind for a little, you'll be fine." I wish that were the case. It seems that in FortNite, you're at the mercy of the random loot being dropped from the game's loot llamas. Now, the loot llamas, of course, contain loot. The problem is that the drops that you get from the llamas in the regular play of the game are very, very unlikely to drop anything that you need to give you the fighting edge that you need to complete your mission. Now, you can get mini llamas from just playing the game, but these llamas are highly unlikely to actually drop anything useful. The llamas you pay money for, though, are much more likely to drop what you need. Now, I'm a stickler for not paying money for loot drops in a game unless I absolutely have to. FortNite pretty much makes you have to. Sure, you can theoretically grind the digital currency and buy llamas, but doing so would allow you to buy only one base llama every 2 days of worth of playing. And these base level llamas rarely contain the power-up weapons and traps that you'll need. It pains me to say it, but I'm afraid FortNite is squarely planted in the oh-so-terrible territory of pay-to-win games. Now, my friends and myself are still playing, and for the most part enjoying the crap out of FortNite. There's a diamond of a game in there somewhere, and I honestly hope it fixes most of its issues before it sees a full official release. We can look past all the little mundane problems and see it for the experience that it can be, and for that reason I'll keep playing, at least for a little while longer. FortNite has been in development for well over 4 years, and the game honestly looks and plays like a game from 2011. The art style is serviceable, but nothing to write home about. The gunplay is serviceable, but nothing to write home about. The character and abilities are serviceable, and you get the idea. The core of FortNite shows a lot of promise, and it might end up being something really special at some point. For now though, it's just a disappointing slog through a system designed to wring every red cent and every bit of patience from its audience. If you're going to play FortNite, you might want to bring your wallet.